There's even a Misha Berach for the Detroit Pistons, I understand. So, of course, it hasn't worked very well, but. So what is this all about? What is this endeavor we call prayer that we've been speaking about so beautifully all evening, from that warm-up through the bitul, through the sermon, which doesn't exist, and then the end of the service? It's like a beautiful symphony with a crescendo, a decrescendo, and clearly it's meant to make us feel something, just like a symphony, but what? And we often think of ourselves as sending those prayers upwards, heavenwards, as if God were a big candy machine in the sky, and we could put our prayer tokens into it, and down would come the Snicker bar of happiness. But actually, the word to pray, להתפלל in Hebrew, is reflexive. What does that mean? Well, for instance, every Hebrew word has a shoresh, a root. To wash is rachat. Lihitrachet means to wash oneself. Got it? It's a reflexive verb. So lihitpalel is the root pei lamed lamed, to ourself. And what does it mean? Well, if you look at a Hebrew dictionary, often they'll say it means to judge oneself. But really, there is no etymological evidence that the root pei lamed lamed ever meant to judge, ever. It's just that back then they were very judgy in general. But in ancient Hebrew, they have found the root, and it seems to have meant to dig. So lihit palel, or uncover. So lihit palel actually means to dig into oneself. But why? If we're praying to God, why would we dig into ourselves? And the reason is very simple. Because ourselves is the very first place we should be looking for God. Each of us has a neshama within us. What's a neshama? So not exactly. It's not exactly a soul. Linshom means to breathe. Each of us has a breath of God within us. And although we like to think of God as a king, the image of God as king does not appear anywhere in the entire Torah, nowhere. The first image of God is Ruach Elohim, the wind of God that hovered over the face of the earth. And so if God is like a spiritual wind that animates the universe, and each of us has a neshama, a breath of God within us, then where does one go to look for God? Right here. And so when we pray, we are digging into ourselves to find that neshama, that little piece of God that animates us all and makes us all holy and gives us strength, as this song will teach us.